none of us, bar none, have our stuff together. It's that time of having to take the rose-tinted glasses off and go. The thing that most people miss is the emotional baggage. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Lucy Davis, and today I'm going to be speaking to you all about how your body talks to you. Ladies and gents, this is Lucy Davis live at 5, which will be going out on Monday, the 19th of May at 5 p.m. However, as you can tell, because I'm at an airport, I'm not actually live. I have had to pre-record this because I actually am going to be traveling and I'm going to be doing other things on Monday, the 19th of May in the evening and the afternoon. So unfortunately, I cannot be with you. So I'm going to miss you guys. I just want you to know that. I really, really am going to miss you. Now, since we last met and since we last hung out, we have had the most powerful soul school you could possibly imagine. I ended up channeling between about 7 and 10 different energies, and my goodness, did it go off. If you were at Soul School online just last Monday, please do pop a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know, really what went on for you. It was probably one of the most powerful online events that I have ever done. And I feel extremely privileged that so many people were there to witness what can happen when you make a decision to really release everything that has ever been a thing in your life. And to be honest, the only way that you can do that is by actually like having a firm conversation with yourself and being really real. It's that time of having to take the rose tinted glasses off and going, do you know what? Like, actually, I'm the problem here. I'm the one that has created the sickness in my body. I am the one that has created the dis-ease. I am the one who is settling in my relationship, or I am settling in my career, or whatever that looks like to you. Sorry about the background noise, guys. I really hope that it doesn't come across too loud in this video, because it's probably going to happen quite frequently, bearing in mind I am at an airport. So like I say, huge apologies for that, but hey, it's going to add a little bit of spice today as we do this. So the 13th of May saw a massive, beautiful shift in and around the world in regards to Soul School. The energies have changed since then. People have been so much more happier since then. I should probably blur my background out. Just thinking about it, then I got all these random people. Blur my background. There we go. Otherwise, we're going to have loads of random people here appearing on the video, which is probably totally inappropriate. But anyway, you've seen some of the background as to where I am. So that was on 13th of May. We are going to be doing another Soul School soon. However, I'm not too sure at what point it is going to be. The next thing that is lined up for my good self, other than back on the road traveling and doing lots of public speaking, is I'm doing a very intimate meditation event in Southbourne, Dorset, on the 20th of June. So it's a summer solstice breath, meditation and healing session. There is only 20 spaces and I think 15 have gone. So yeah, maybe 16 have gone. I think there's only a few spaces left basically. So if you want to join us in Southbourne on that date, then please do join us. I am going to attempt to make this a monthly thing. However, I mean, they want me to do it. People want me to do it much more frequently, but with traveling, with working, and I would like to have a little bit of a life as well and have some fun along the way. And it's probably realistically going to be once a month at that venue. Make of that what you will. So that's the next thing on the cards for Lucy Davis. And to be honest with you guys, like it's things are moving so quickly now. The energies are supporting us. So I'm on a bit of a mission to revamp everything. I made some decisions last week that I am going to be like rebranding, reworking, and really focusing on the things that light my soul up and really helping people change their world. So what do I mean by that? This channel is going to become much more authentic to myself. It's going to be much more about having conversations, much needed conversations. And I'm going to be stepping slightly back from the energy work that I do and the energy updates, because what I'm really going to be looking to do is bring more content around consciousness, more content around health and healing, and my favorite subject, relationships. So do keep your eyes open for the revamped Lucy Davis coming to you very, very soon. However, until that point, let's have a little look at what is going on with our bodies. So I think it's fair to say, ladies and gents, that our bodies are the most intrinsic, powerful piece of machinery that we could ever imagine. We don't even have to think to make our heart beat, or for our lungs to just continually keep us alive, or to pump blood around our system on a day-to-day basis. It is so intrinsic within us, and it is so intuitive that it just happens at a natural flow. We do not need to push. We do not need to remind ourselves, right, heartbeat, right, pump the blood, right. We don't need to do any of that on a day-to-day basis. So it's fair to say that we actually, as human beings, have the most intelligent machinery known to man. So why is it that most of us poison ourselves, hurt ourselves, damage ourselves by the food that we eat, the drinks that we drink, the cigarettes, the vaping, the drugs, the alcohol? Why do we do that to the most powerful piece of machinery that we have got? All in the name of fun. Ladies and gents, I know most of you guys that follow me get this on a level that so many people don't get it. Our body is a direct reflection of what we put in it. People say to me all the time, my God, Lucy, you've got the body of an X-year-old, like much younger than I am. My God, Lucy. Why is that? Because I treat it with respect. I exercise every single day. You know, I haven't had a drink for 4.5 months, you know, nearly 5 months. It's, you know, that yes, I have a bit of sugar from time to time, but it's very, very rare that I do something which is actually going to damage me. I don't smoke, I don't vape, I don't shisha or anything like that. I don't drink any alcohol. Like I said, I have a little bit of sugar from time to time. And, you know, I make sure that my body is getting all of the nutrients that it needs on a day-to-day basis. I am exercising every single day, you know, and people are saying to me at the moment, Lucy, you look in the best shape of your life. And I actually feel it too. You know, I have changed my exercise regime. It's gone from all this heavy impact, like running, Thai boxing, to lots of walking. You know, I walk 20 to 25,000 steps a day. On top of that, I do Pilates. On top of that, I do circuits. On top of that, I do horse riding. And I've really changed from this heavy impact exercise into a much more loving, much more gentle, much more flowing exercise regime for me. Now, I have noticed that my body is a lot less wired. And the main reason why I decided to do this video today was I actually had one of my blood test results back a few weeks ago. And so I've had all of my hormones checked, I've had everything checked, and everything is absolutely perfect, doing really, really well. However, one of the results came back and it kind of insinuated that my adrenal glands were under a lot of pressure. Now, what it basically said was, you know, could be a cortisol response, or it could be a couple of other things. And in all honesty, the only thing that resonated with me was a cortisol reaction. You know, I have been under a lot of stress, personal stress. I have had a lot of, you know, like pushing and pulling and things like that. And that is internalized stress. It's not like there is something exterior to me that is going on. I mean, yes, I've lost a dear friend of mine recently. However, you know, that was a bit of stress, and then it's kind of dissipated, and you know, things have moved forwards. However, you know, it's this push-pull energy, and you know, the stresses that come at you on a day-to-day basis, that obviously is what creates the cortisol response. Now, a couple of years ago, I had a miscarriage, as you guys know, and my relationship broke down off the back of that. To say it off the back of that is a bit unfair. But, you know, basically there was a miscarriage that led to my relationship breaking down. Had to move out of my home, had to literally change everything in my life. And I know that created my adrenals to go into overdrive. I went into fight or flight mode, and it took me months to be able to rebalance. So what happened was my adrenals were working constantly, thinking that they had to fight to survive. And actually what happened is, you know, it took me about a year and a half to get over that. And then interestingly, over the last maybe 3 months, this response has started to kick in, and I felt it in my body. I have felt my body feeling a little bit more wired than normal. And every time I attempted to do something about it, it was almost like I was being attacked again. So, you know, what was really fascinating is I did a test. So I had my blood test results back. I decided, right, I'm going to get to the bottom of what's going on with my adrenals. And I literally got the results back yesterday, which is why I'm filming this video today, and which is why I want you guys to really hear me when I say your body is talking to you. So the hormone test that I did showed a very, very elevated level of this particular hormone. And like I say, it's all to do with the adrenal glands. That man is desperate to be in my video, isn't he? He can have a cameo. Be like, mate, come here and do a cameo. So basically, this hormone was elevated. So again, like I say, it could be a couple of different things to do with the adrenals. Anyway, so I then was like, right, okay, I need to go further with this. So I did a cortisol test. Basically, this cortisol test resulted in 4 tests throughout the day: one in the morning, one late, one at lunchtime, midday, one about 4 o'clock, and one just before you go to bed. And what was really, really, really fascinating about this is in the morning test, my cortisol was elevated. At midday, my cortisol had come down significantly, but it was still slightly elevated. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I was peaceful. And before bed, it was way below what it needed to be. So on speaking with the doctor about this, the doctor basically said to me, Lucy, you know, your elevated cortisol in the morning, yes, it's a concern, but the fact that you are bringing it back into alignment throughout the day makes me, you know, feel as if everything is actually okay with you. What stress have you been going through? And like, literally, I'm not kidding you, I got these results on the 17th of May, literally yesterday. And I went back to the day that I did the test, and he was right. In the morning, the pecking was taking place and it spikes my cortisol. And then by the afternoon, I had calmed, I had made some decisions, I was in a peaceful place of my own. And no surprise, the cortisol response showed that. So you guys know I love getting to the root cause of health. I love really investigating the healing and, you know, everything else that goes on in the body. Like, this has been my journey for a very, very long time. Okay. I have been on it. Really for the last 12 years, I've been looking to get to the bottom of the hormonal issues or the hair or the skin or whatever. And I think it's fair to say my skin is amazing these days. My nails are amazing these days. My hair is on the road to recovery. My hormones, because I've literally just had them all tested, are absolutely amazing. You know, there's just a couple of little things. So I've basically given myself a full MOT from top to bottom, and I'm in good nick, apparently. However, most people do not listen to their body. Now, I know the exact stress that I was getting every single morning. I know, because I'm very aware of this stuff. I don't pretend that it's not happening. I don't pretend that it's not taking place. And I knew something was going on in my body. I knew that I needed to stop this thing that was making my cortisol go crazy in the morning so that I could be peaceful, so that I could actually bring it back. Your body does not lie to you. So I'm talking about something very, very intricate here about cortisol. I'm talking real intricate hormones and things like that. However, the truth of the matter is, if you have got a funny finger or eczema, or maybe you get a bit puffy around your eyes, or maybe you've got something that comes up on your neck, or maybe you've got something with one of your breasts or your elbows or your arms or whatever, this is your body talking to you. Every single part of the human body links to an emotion. So like I said at the beginning, you know, I'm really good. I exercise, I drink the water, I eat the foods, I don't have too much sugar. You know, I did have a little bit a little while ago, but you know, I don't have too much sugar, and I eat a really balanced diet, and I'm da. That's all physical stuff. That's all stuff that we can easily write down and keep on top of and have a to-do list on. However, the thing that most people miss is the emotional baggage that they are carrying around with them on a day-to-day basis. I just have to put that in, otherwise it's way too loud for me. So it's very important that we recognize the physical stuff, i.e. the smoking, the drinking, the eating too much chocolate, having too much fat, all of those things. Yes, they are physical things that can cause you a detrimental effect. Absolutely, they can. However, what you're not aware of is what those emotions are doing. If you are somebody who constantly criticizes, you will have stuff going on in your body. You might not be aware of it, but you will have stuff going on in your body. If you are somebody that constantly puts others down, you will have stuff going on in your body. If you are constantly angry, and I actually shared on my conscious conversations this morning, because again, I'm not around tomorrow evening, that for me, anger is so common. There's so many people that are angry, right? Like I've always said that my go-to when I was younger was anger. Like, you cross me, oh, I'll square up to you. Don't you worry about that. Like, if you want to go, I'll go. However, it wasn't ever about the anger. And this is a beautiful message for each and every one of you. Anger is always premise. Anger is the output when you're not heard, or you're not seen, or you feel misunderstood. So maybe you're upset, maybe you're sad, or maybe you're hurting in one way, shape, or form. If you've got one of those on, so maybe let's say I'm having a conversation with my boyfriend and I'm being really open and honest, and he kind of attacks me, not physically, but attacks me in the sense of, you know, like projecting his stuff on me. What will then happen is I'm not allowed, like I'm hurting, and rather than me go, hey, you've hurt me, I respond with, go yourself. Is this making sense to you guys? Smash the little thumbs up button or the love heart, whatever it is on this channel, and let me know if this resonates with you. So every single one of the emotions that we have in our body, the resentment, the hurt, the shame, the pain, the guilt, the frustration, the anger, all of these things manifest in different areas in the body. Now, there's a lot of people out there that are completely delusional in the sense that they think that they've got their stuff together. Like literally they think they've got their stuff together. And a bit of a newsflash for each and every one of you out there, none of us, bar none, have our stuff together. None of us. If you had your stuff together, you literally wouldn't have messages coming in all day, every day. You know those times when we get a little roadblock, or maybe we want something and then we get diverted from it. Like that's a sign saying that you're out of whack in one way, shape, or form. What you are wanting is probably settling. You know, I just stop and think to myself, my goodness, like the amount of times that I've really, really wanted something so badly, and actually I know the plan is for me to have something better. You know, and that might sound arrogant and that might sound really mean, but the thing is, like, my health used to be extremely poor. I was very, very sick. I was always in and out of hospital. And the fact that I now never take antibiotics, I haven't had them since 2015. You know, 10 years ago was the last time I took antibiotics. The fact that is when I used to have to take them every single month for probably, you know, God knows how many years before that. Like, to me, that is unbelievable. And do you know what? All I have done is fine tune a few things, but get on top of my emotions. I've started to speak my truth, and that pisses so many people off. Like, not my friends get it, my family get it, but, you know, trust me, in a relationship, When you've got a woman who is willing to say, I don't agree with you on that, oh my goodness. You know, like everybody wants a strong woman until that strong woman holds you accountable to the growth that you said, and you know, things like that. It's just fascinating. Everybody wants it until the spotlight is on them. But the thing is it's authentic for me to grow. It's authentic for me to speak my truth, to let people know how I feel, to go after what I know I deserve. I settled for so many years thinking that I had to put up with ill health. I settled for so many years thinking that tonsillitis, laryngitis, bronchitis, chest infections were normal. I settled thinking thyroid disease is normal. I settled thinking that all these different hormonal issues that I had were normal. I settled for thinking that being 10 kilos overweight was just normal. It's just one of those things. I settled for my guts not working properly. Those of you that know me, I used to have chronic IBS, chronic digestive issues that would cripple me. I couldn't go to the toilet for 2 weeks at a time. You know, likewise, the amount of acid reflux and things like that I used to have. And, you know, people see the version that I am now and they're like, oh, she's all right. She's got her shit together. You know, like she looks all right. And, you know, she's doing this and she's doing that. But the reality is it hasn't always been that way. You know, I was a hot mess. I was a walking disaster area where my health was concerned. And it's really important that we talk about this stuff. The thing that changed my life was me going, wow, I'm really angry. And when I went, wow, I'm really angry, all of a sudden, my digestion started clearing up. I didn't need to go to anger management. For me, the way that I did that was I journaled. I got clear on what it is that I was angry about. I had conversations that I never thought I would have. I did Thai boxing to get the anger out of me. And this is why I say, whenever a parent comes to me and they're like, my child is like losing the plot or they're really angry, I'm like, okay, cool, get them to martial arts. Starting point. Because when you have an outlet to kick and punch, you do not need to vent anger at somebody. Your top priority as a human being is not to have fun or to make money or to get bigger and better. Your number one priority is to look after the vessel in which you reside. Because if you look after the vessel in which you reside, everything else comes as a default. You know, I feel so privileged. I have had the best weekend at this weekend, and I hope my girlfriends that I've been with watch this video back. I have had the best weekend going. We have laughed more than we've laughed in ages. And when I was saying about the sugar, right, this weekend, the sugar that I've had is in mocktails. The sugar that I have had is in wine, you know, with no alcohol because I'm not drinking. So I know that these drinks are loaded with sugar, but do you know what? I've been okay with it. And when I actually got on the scales after the weekend, I'd lost weight. Why had I lost weight? Because I had had fun. It wasn't about the calorie counting. It wasn't about anything. It was about removing all of the stress that had been being created over the last however many months. It was about cutting, you know, pointless conversations. It was about spending time with people I love, laughing and being myself without judgment, without having to be a performing donkey or, you know, like doing things on demand to suit other people. I literally could just be myself. And I feel so privileged that, you know, my best girlfriends that I spent the weekend with are like, you are so easy to be around. It's amazing how much emotional baggage you can release when you are around people where you can be yourself. And there isn't the expectation that you're going to behave in a particular way. Like I was roaring, absolutely roaring this weekend. I could tell you so many different things and you'd be like, wow, Lucy, I'm shocked that you did that. But the thing is, it's me. Very few people get to see the cheeky side of Lucy, you know, the fun loving Lucy, because I talk about serious stuff. I help people have massive breakthroughs. So when I'm on camera like this, like you don't get to see the playful Lucy when you come on retreat with me. Oh my goodness, you get to see her. You know, when you come to a 2-day seminar with me, you get to see her, because I'm in my natural habitat. I'm literally able to just be who I am. And you guys know, like, I'm cheeky as heck at my daytime seminars. I'm cheeky as heck. Like, you get a decent amount of time with me, you see the real Lucy Davis, not the uptight Lucy Davis that's constantly, you know, trying to protect her back, having to be in fight or flight mode because, you know, I don't know whether I'm coming or going, or whether I've got to speak up or shrink down, or how dare I be successful, or how dare I be out there being certain things. Like, literally around my friends, I'm allowed to be who I want to be. And thankfully, you know, some of my best guy friends, it's exactly the same. So it's not a male female thing, just so you guys know. I am the person that I know I am when I'm safe. And that safety has come off of the back of, you know, 12, 13 years of me investing in getting to grips of how my body is talking to me constantly. When I get a certain feeling, how, like, what does it relate to? Okay, right, my skin is getting itchy. It's not, by the way, but I'm just going to give you an example. Right, my skin is getting itchy. Oh my God, yeah, on my right shoulder. Oh, it's really itchy. It's really itchy. Okay, right, itchy and the skin, or the skin is about irritation. Okay, the skin, and they're not itchy. Oh, yeah, it's irritated. Now, the right shoulder is about the pressure of a male in your life, making you feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulder. Now, you, every single part of the body relates to something. Every single part of the body is talking to you. It's just you're not listening. You know, people say to me, oh, yeah, my toenail's a bit dodgy. And I'm like, which toes it on? Because every toe and every finger and absolutely everything in our bodies relates to something. Just imagine if you understood the language that your body was speaking to you. Just imagine if you allowed yourself to hear. Just imagine if you knew how to decipher. Imagine if you knew how to regulate your emotions. Now, I've been teaching people how to do this for 10 years. You know, my one-to-ones have gone through the roof recently. I don't know why, but everybody's like, oh, we need one-to-ones with Lucy. So if you do want to come and do a one-to-one with me, go and check out my website, www.lucydavis.com. But you don't have to pay the money for a one-to-one. You can come and do one of my really short courses that will start to help you break through. Now, on this channel going forwards, I'm going to have a lot more discussions about health. I'm going to have a lot more discussions about how the body works, how things can work for you. You know, and I'm not just going to talk about my perspective, because I know my perspective is a bit woo-woo for some. So I'm going to get doctors, I'm going to get people that are, you know, experts in their own field to come and share their opinions with us, so that you're getting a really balanced view. But I do feel that we need to be sharing more of, like, the emotional side of things, more the way that our physiology works in alignment with our emotions. You know, we know if you go to the doctor's going to be like, right, let's prescribe you a pill, or let's give you a jab, or whatever, you know. So what if we start to look at the other side of it? I mean, how many of you have gone through something in your life, maybe guts or something like that, and you've gone to the doctor? How many of you have been asked, what's the state of your relationship? Do you enjoy your work? You know, how much sunshine do you go and get each day? How often do you go walking? How many steps do you do each day? Like, how many of you get asked those questions? Because I never got asked those questions in all the years and all the specialists. And I mean, I was in hospital every single month without fail. And I never once got asked, you know, are you in a relationship? Are you happy? Are you comfortable? How about your work? Do you enjoy your work? Do you feel passionate? Do you feel like you're in your purpose, like, you know, on your purpose? Never once did I get asked any of that. And actually, this is the catalyst for me. This is the catalyst for us to actually really unlock what is going on in our mind, body, and soul. So many of us have deep-rooted self-worth issues. So many of us, and we project it out on everybody else. It's everybody else is the problem, because, oh, I daren't admit that I've got a self-worth issue. You know, so many of us live in lack day in, day out, and we project it on other people. Oh, you're so this because you've got that. It's like, wow. People are not on top of their stuff. And I would love to change that. I would love to help you guys via the podcast that I'm going to do, via the information that I'm going to share, via the carousels and things like that I'm going to be starting to put out on my Instagram. You know, I want to help you guys achieve that by really basic steps of service to you guys. If I can help you recognize what is going on in your body and what it links to emotionally, maybe, just maybe, you're going to make progress. I have never once had a client come to me and speak to me about their their physical ailment. And when I've asked them the questions to do with the emotions and where the baggage lies, not once have they gone, no, that doesn't relate. No, that doesn't resonate at all. Not once. It's always like yeah, that kind of makes sense. Lucy, why do they not teach this? Why do they not talk about this? Why is the doctor not trained in this? That's the way the conversations go. Now, I'm not saying that my way is the best way or it's my way and the highway. I'm just saying that there is another perspective. And I truly believe that there is a place for all of it in society. And I'm really lucky. My doctor, like I'd never met him until a few months ago, but I went to see the doctor a few months ago and he was literally like, Lucy, I love what you do. I love the fact that you never come to the doctor. I think there is absolutely a place for medicine, science, and holistic, you know, alternative, the real therapies. You know, let's remember plants are around a lot longer than medicine. So the stuff they call alternative is actually the real, like it's the original. And all we're doing is we're just bringing the original wisdom back. Like people like myself who channel, people like myself who know shit that there's no way that they should know. All we're doing is bringing back the information into the consciousness of those who resonate with it so that we can heal our bodies and get back into alignment ever so quickly. Nobody out there has no emotional baggage. And if you think that you've got no emotional baggage, I'm going to call you a liar. Trigger, 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 I know. However, this is the truth. You know, every single one of us have had something go on in our life, whether we've lost a parent or we've lost a child or we've had a divorce or we've had heartbreak or we've lived through a divorce or whatever. There is so many things that go on in our life which cause traumatic responses within the body. And then the body has to learn to cope with it, because just because we've moved past it or it was a long time ago does not mean that you have removed that physical feeling in your body, which is why every single time something comes up that makes you feel like that, you just charge and you get on the defensive. Defensiveness is just way too much right now. People are not being accountable. You know, I actually had a really beautiful conversation with somebody recently and I said something to them and they were like, completely defended themselves. And I was like, hey, I'm really sorry that you saw that as a criticism. There was absolutely no intention whatsoever of a criticism in that. And he turned around to me and he was like, thank you so much for clearing that up. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Because he was obviously in a place where he was obviously ready to defend himself. But as soon as I was like, whoa, that wasn't the intention here. Luckily, it landed with him rather than continuing to push it and to be on the defensive. He literally just went, oh, thanks for clearing that up. And back having a beautiful heart-led conversation from the get-go. Now, just imagine how much our lives would change if all of our conversations went like that. Rather than us having to fight, rather than us having to defend, rather than people constantly poking the bear at us. Because what that does is it creates reactions within the body. We feel wired. You know, we actually have a physical response to that stuff because emotions are what drive us. We are emotional beings. I'm not just talking about women, I'm talking about all of us. We are emotional beings and most of us don't know how to have our needs met. So it's very important that we get on top of this. It's very important that we really do start to connect to the fact that there is a mind, body, and soul. You know, our body is one way of looking after it. So if you're drinking too much alcohol, smoking too much, taking too many drugs or anything like that, please know that you are creating a physical detrimental effect on your body. On top of that, let's say that you're not willing to look at your emotions. You're not willing to be honest with yourself and say, hey, I've got baggage or I'm hurting or whatever. Please know that that's the next layer. Okay. So that's the mind and the body. And then the soul. If your soul is going to work, like if you are literally just going to work, and you don't have any purpose to it, you're literally just doing it for money. Let me tell you straight, that means there's 3 areas of your life that are going to try and knock you out. Our job here is to become purpose driven. heart-led, regulated emotions. Your body is constantly talking to you. Whatever is going on with you, your bad back, if you've got bad back at the top, it means one thing. In the middle, it means something else. And in the bottom of the spine, it means something totally different. For any of you that have got lower back pain, please know you've got stuff going on with your finances. You are in a lack mindset, or you've got something going on that is troubling you around your finances. In the middle of your back, you feel lack of support. You feel like your family aren't there for you. You feel that your partner's not there for you. It's like lack of support. And then on the top, it's very much about the weight of the world. It's about pressure, got too much on my shoulders, having to lean over to accommodate the stresses. And like literally, like I say, ladies and gents, every part of the body means something different. It links to a totally different emotion, and there is totally different ways that you can release this stuff. There are so many people going through grief right now. I had a conversation with somebody very recently, and she was like, "I don't think you've processed your miscarriage," and I was like, "You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There is still a grieving process to go through with that." And I've been quite open about that. It's, there is a grieving process. It's heart-wrenching. It's really quite challenging going through that. People don't give enough credit for that. People don't give enough empathy towards that subject. It's like, oh, just put a smile on it and move forwards. It's a subject that I'm really looking forward to talking about. I say looking forward to, I'm not looking forward to it at all, but I'm looking forward to lifting the lid on it and speaking to some of the most amazing doctors and specialists around the world so that we can have those discussions so women know what's going on with them. I'm really looking forward to doing this with you guys. I'm really looking forward to changing it up and giving you some content that is going to change your life. So on that note, if there is anybody that you would like me to interview or a topic that you would like me to cover, please do drop an email to support@lucydavis.com, and we are going to be starting to create a short list of people, and we are going to get this show on the road. I don't know how long it's going to take. Might be a couple of weeks, might be a month, but we are going to get started really soon. We're going to have some of the best people coming on and sharing their wisdom with you so that you can make the best of your life from here. Ladies and gents, I have got to cut this video, so I really need to get off of here. This is Lucy Davis live at 5 for May the 19th. I'm going to be off doing other things, like I said at the beginning of the video, and I will be back with you guys super soon. Thank you so much for all of your efforts. Thank you for keeping in touch. Thank you for watching. I am going to film the new moon. I channeled it today, the new moon video. So do keep your eyes on that. I will get that out over the next couple of days. Ladies and gents, I hope to see you in June at the meditation event. If not, super soon online somewhere. Okay, I love you loads, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Ciao for now.